Hello, Professor Eric over here, and we're just going to do another empty hand JKD video, colleague video, whatever you guys want to call it, the arts mix, just like people. Okay? Right. So if you watched the last segment, we went over a little bit of the limb destruction, like jab and backhand, jab and forehand. The idea being like, if he's standing there, I can punch this limb, I can hack the limb, I can punch the limb, and then move in and hack the body. And there's a series of these limb destructions that are like just standard boxing counters in Panatukan and college. And they're really basic. They come out of the weaponry with the knife, with the stick, everything. So let's go right lead so they can see it. So when he gives me a jab, now instead of me going first, I'm going to respond to what he's doing. So I'm going to parry and I'm going to scissor the limb. And this, if it was reality and I just had an empty hand on everything in it, I would really try to spike this with the knuckle, but because he's my friend and training partner, I'm just going to brush it, not try to hurt the guy. Okay, so you have 3 with the outside parry, and that's the order that I'm going to use, and then I'll show you the order that we learned it in. So, scissor on the inside, parry, vertical with the knuckle, and notice my hand is turned up, because if I go flat, when he jabs, he's going to do a finger point jab, so his elbow, when it comes back, is going to be near his body, and that could spike my hand if it's in motion. So what you want to do is flare your knuckle up this way, okay? Then you're going to go from the outside and do that same knuckle principle, but on the back of the tricep here like this. Then you have what's called a lift. So just like this is behind the elbow, the lift needs to be behind the elbow too, if we're staying in the same range of bicep and tricep. So one more time, scissor the bicep, vertical with the knuckle, outside with the knuckle, outside with the lift. And see, I'm moving, but now he's pointing at the camera here this way. So I want to affect his base, okay? Then you have 2 on the inside, so I'm going to start from like a 3-point or a foreman cover. So I'm going to parry on the inside and backhand the bicep here this way. Okay, so let's look for this angle here. So what people do in the beginning is they go like this. So my 2 hands are committed and you're going to be wide open. You'll only really do that if you're baiting the guy. What you want is like a 1-2. 1-2, see my hand comes back. Just think about bringing your thumb to like the bottom of your chin. Okay, and then you have the same idea with the lift, but you're going to come in and check this hand. And just like we've been talking about, it could be the face of the knuckle, the side of the forearm, could push this way, but something to monitor this because it's probably going to be coming at you no matter what anyway, since we're going off the jab. All these can be done off the cross. So if we switch, and he gives me jab cross, same thing. Scissor, vertical. Notice I'm moving my head offline, back of the tricep, lift on the outside, inside with a cover. That's it. Okay? So this is middle range boxing, meaning we can hit each other. We can hit the targets, the ribs, the chin, whatever we want. You want to learn to do these closer in, and you want to learn to do them to the end of the stick on the extremity. So you got to go gentle with this. Let's go jab cross. Yeah, it could be an elbow, but when I scissor now, see, I'm just going to hit the small of the wrist. But see, we're both out of range. The guy can't really hit me. So if I'm baiting somebody, now I can just, I can really spike the wrist. I didn't get him that bad. I didn't even hit him with a number, right?
I was tight on my hand.
Same thing. Vertical, yeah, this could definitely be vertical with an elbow, horizontal with your elbow, right? Back of the forearm. Vertical with the lift would be on the inside. Back knuckle. See, this might just clear his hand to come in like that. And this one could be vertical here, or it could clear it out of the way again. So the end of the stick, the extremity. Then at the same time, you have where you move in, which actually just looks a lot more like regular Western boxing. So if he gives me the jab cross, instead of scissoring, now I'm going to monitor this hand, or it could be a split entry, it could be a punch. Okay? When I come under, now I might elbow the rib like that. Before, I was taking my knuckle to the tricep, now it might shoot to the eye like that. Sometimes it'll even find the hand or allow you to enter and grab it. When you go vertical, see, this could be into the throw like that. Just to give you some ideas. The backhand is as useful as the forehand scissor. That's probably one of my favorites. It's to go here and jam it. And this, again, it's going to be temporary where you're going to be moving inside. Okay, and then the last one, I'm going to clear it, and this would be an elbow to the guy. So you see, it's just like Thai boxing. That's it. Okay, so a lot of times when we see these, we're like, oh man, that doesn't make a lot of sense, especially if you have gloves on. When I have gloves on, hitting the knuckle is not going to do anything. But imagine an MMA glove or an 8-ounce like professional boxing glove.
Yeah, for sure.
If you elbow the thing or you hit it with your shoulder, it's going to have an effect. Then, oh man, I'm not going to hit the guy. Even my MMA glove, to the arm, it's not going to do much. But if I scissor it and I go to the shoulder or the face or hit, the principle is going to come back into play, right? It doesn't have to be a hit. Just like if I do the backhand one, this could just be pressure now instead of like a limb destruction. But you go back to like the tool base of like a pocket tool. See now look, boom. If I scissor this at the extremity, this now is going to hurt. If I hit the bicep just with this closed, that is not going to feel good. And then the same thing, I might hit this one when I come in. See, this could be to the hand here or it could be to the head that way. So you want to vary the ranges. You just move up the joints. Wrist, bicep above the elbow, and then body that way. And then it'll have a lot of different uses for you. It won't just be like, oh, what's this kung fu thing where I like cross the center line and do all this nonsense. Cool.
Yeah. It's very, very effective. I think that's a lot of it is like people get to where they're always like clearing both hands and the face, whatever. But
well, yeah, and I haven't seen a lot of people, and I just try to give him credit all the time, but my mentor, Chris Clark, like, he really touched on a lot of this stuff because I was trying to use it in the boxing glove where I was going here all the time.
Yeah,
and I'm like, it didn't really do much to the guy. Sometimes it moves the arm. But then when he explained it, like, oh no, I'm like, that's the same motion. Like, say you keep your hand tight. Like, it could be like this kind of push, or it could just be here. So you can backhand it like that way. Right? That became a lot more useful. Or looking at it as like, oh, it's a split entry. And I mean, how often do I use it? Like every single time I spar.
yeah.
That's it. But yeah, people, like you said, they cross, even on the scissor, right? It's not, let's go this way. See Jeff Ross? People do this. See? Watch again. That's the beginner way. Why would I cross my arms like that? Like, you never want to do that. So one hand is actually moving in a different rhythm, a different distance than the other hand. So if you give me jab cross, woo! This hand stayed on center. It just doesn't actually fold over. Just like when you do the backhand, they don't actually track together. It's 1 and 2, like that. Even on the lift, it's not, like I've seen people do this. They'll leave this back here and go under their own arm. And now I got nothing. So it's got to come out this way. I didn't even know he's been in it.
It's already there, yeah.
It's already there. And that's the cool thing about these structures, whether it's like Wing Chun center line or this limb destruction, it's already there. It's almost like it's accidental.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, I didn't even plan for that, but my limb is in the way. And then you can really counter off of it. It's terrible when you're on the receiving end because when you just try to defend, you're getting hit. When you try to hit back, you're going to get more. And it's really fun if you're the person implementing.
Yeah. It always feels like when you're doing it against someone that's like tighter and more like aggressive based, it's way easier.
Yeah.
It's the only way to like to ever like feels like you can get out of it. You have to be like loose and like allow the movement to happen.
Yeah.
You're just gonna get like
the more you resist, you're just like, put yourself in position.
Yeah, and it's like most strikers are. They're just like, I'm gonna hit you.
Yeah.
It's
so if you don't have a partner right now, if you're still under quarantine, and we are here in the state of Oregon for a few more days anyway, don't think of the limb destructions as you have to hit an arm. Start working on your bag and like, okay, I'm gonna parry and backhand the bag, right? I'm gonna parry and hit to the body. That's the same motion as the scissor. Yeah, because often we think like, oh, I don't have this equipment or I don't have this partner, so I'm just not gonna practice anything. And there's always something you can do wherever you're at that's relevant to your goal. And that's the way you can look at it. Sweet, brother.
Yeah,
anything else?
Great stuff.
All right, Warriors, we really appreciate you guys, and we're trying to get back on schedule with videos, and we've noticed a lot more people subscribe to the channel. If you guys have any questions, anything you want to see,
questions.
You could, you know, question something that came out of this video or anything at all. We want to bring you an answer. We cover every field of martial arts, and we're happy to bring it to you. Thanks, Warriors.
Warriors out.